The morning begins very slowly. Before the day fully arrives, there is only a soft, pale light touching the edges of the world. The air feels quiet and still, as if everything is taking a long, deep breath. Nothing is urgent here. Time feels wider, gentler, easy to rest inside. Outside, winter holds the land in a calm, cool embrace. Snow, or frost, or simply cold air settles over the ground, smoothing away sharp edges and busy lines. The world seems muted, wrapped in soft colors and soft sounds. In this early hour, it is easy to feel that you are safe, that you are held, that you are allowed to move slowly. Notice how the light grows, not all at once, but in tiny, steady steps. Shadows soften. Corners of the room begin to show themselves, quiet and familiar. Even if your eyes are closed, you can sense that the day is gently arriving, without pushing, without asking anything of you. This is a place where nothing needs to be rushed. Thoughts do not have to be sharp or clear. They can drift like small clouds across a pale winter sky, appearing and fading without effort. Your mind can loosen its grip and simply watch them come and go. Feel how the body responds to this softness. Muscles that carried you through the day begin to ease. The jaw relaxes. The shoulders settle a little closer to rest. There is no need to hold yourself upright, no need to prepare. Here, in this quiet beginning, it is enough just to be. A gentle warmth starts to rise, whether from blankets, from still air that has kept the night's softness, or from the steady presence of your own breath. That warmth does not rush to convince you. It simply waits, a calm, steady comfort that you can lean into whenever you are ready. In this space, the sounds are gentle and far away. A faint creak, a whisper of wind, the distant hum of a sleeping world. Each sound comes slowly and leaves slowly, like small waves on a very quiet shore. None of them ask for your attention. They are just there, soft and reassuring. As you notice these small details, you might feel a sense of being wrapped in something kind, like a soft scarf around your shoulders or a warm hand resting lightly over yours. The feeling is simple and steady. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to let go. Breath becomes a quiet companion. In, out, in, out. Each breath becomes moving like the rise and fall of a calm winter day. Not forced, not controlled, just naturally flowing, as it has done all your life. With every exhale, a little more of the night's tension leaves the body. The mind may still offer small thoughts, plans, memories, bits of conversation. They appear like tiny footprints in fresh snow. You do not need to follow them. You can let fresh snow fall gently over them, softening their edges until they blend back into the peaceful white. Around you, the early winter light continues to unfold. It might be grey and soft, or faintly golden, or tinted with the quiet blue of a cold morning. Whatever it is, it carries the same message. There is time. There is space. You do not need to hurry into the day. Here, the ordinary becomes soothing. The weight of fabric resting against skin. The slight coolness of the air where it touches exposed hands or face. The gentle warmth wherever you are most at ease. These small, simple sensations give the body something calm to notice, something steady to lean on. With each moment, you may feel a little more supported by whatever holds you. A bed, a chair, a couch. The firm surface beneath you, the soft layers above. Everything works together to create a nest of comfort, shaped perfectly to your resting body. If any part of you still feels tight or alert, it is gently invited to soften. Not forced, not pushed, just invited. Like a door that has been slightly open all night, now slowly swinging shut on its own, closing out the cold and keeping in the warmth. In this quiet morning, you are not being asked to rise, to act, to decide. You are simply being offered a place to pause, a space between night and day, where you can let your thoughts slow down and your body remember how to trust rest. This pause is not empty. It is filled with small kindnesses. The softness of the light, the calm weight of blankets, the slow rhythm of your breath, the gentle feeling that you are exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you need to do, which is nothing at all. Notice how safe it feels to stay here. Nothing is chasing you. Nothing is pulling at you. The world outside can wait. Inside this moment, there is only calm, only warmth, only the easy drift of time moving past like a quiet winter river. As you settle deeper, the edges of your body may begin to blur a little. You might feel less aware of where you end, and the softness around you begins. Everything blends together into one calm shape, resting, breathing, gently held. If a thought appears that feels sharp or heavy, you can let it rest on the surface of this quiet space. There is no need to push it away. Just let it lie there, like a small twig on snow. Over time, the snow covers it. The edges soften. It becomes part of the stillness. The morning continues to open, but you do not have to follow it. The day can move forward on its own. You can remain here in the gentle beginning as long as you like. The light will wait for you. The world will wait. Right now, rest is enough. In this calm winter world, you are held in a soft balance, neither fully in night nor fully in day, supported by both, demanded by neither. It is a quiet, sacred in-between, where the only task is to breathe and to feel the slow easing of the body. Allow this feeling of safety to deepen. Let the awareness that you are cared for, that you are allowed to rest, sink into every part of you. From the top of the head, down through the face and neck, through the chest and back, through the arms and hands, through the legs and feet, all the way to the tips of the toes. The slow morning light, the cool winter air, the warmth surrounding you, and the gentle rhythm of your breath all come together here. They form a soft circle around you. Inside that circle, everything is quiet. Everything is calm. You can remain in this beginning for as long as you like, floating in the gentle space where nothing is urgent and everything is soft. The day may be waiting, but there is no need to move toward it yet. For now, there is only this quiet winter morning, slowly unfolding around you as you rest and breathe and drift. The first light arrives very quietly. At first, it is only a suggestion, a faint lifting of the dark. Edges begin to soften. The night loosens its hold. Outside, the world rests under winter's calm touch. Snow, or frost, or a simple cold stillness lies over the ground. Shapes are blurred and gentle. The air feels held in a long, slow pause. Now, imagine the horizon just beginning to glow. Not bright, not sharp, only a pale hint of colour washing through the sky. Soft grey, soft blue, a hint of early gold. The light touches the snow in quiet strokes. At first, only the highest places receive it. The tops of fences, the crowns of small hills, the bare branches of distant trees. Everything feels unhurried. The day is not pushing its way in. It is stretching awake, as if from a long and peaceful sleep. You are watching it happen from a place of deep comfort. Breath follows this slow arrival. In, out, in, out. Each breath a little easier, a little softer than the last. In the still air, sounds are faint and far away, maybe a distant bird, maybe the soft creak of settling snow, maybe nothing but quiet. Silence has its own gentle voice here. As the sky slowly brightens, the snow begins to show its texture. What was once a flat sheet of darkness now reveals small slopes and hollows, tiny ridges where the wind passed in the night, smooth, untouched spaces that look almost like a soft blanket laid over the earth. Notice how the light changes the feeling of the cold. It is still cool, still crisp, but it becomes less harsh, more tender, as if the day is wrapping it in a calm glow. The cold no longer presses in. It simply exists, part of the quiet scene. Awareness moves gently across this landscape, from sky to ground, from far distance to the space close by. Nothing demands focus. Attention can wander slowly, like a soft gaze drifting across the snow. In this early hour, the world has not yet remembered its noise. No rush of traffic, no footsteps in the street, no doors opening and closing, just the hush of a day not yet begun. The first colours of dawn spread a little wider. Grey turns to pearl. Hints of rose or gold melt into the pale sky. The snow reflects all of it, catching the light and sending it back in a quiet, gentle glow. Breathing follows this widening. Air moves in a little deeper, leaves a little more slowly. Chest and belly rise and fall with a calm, steady rhythm. The whole body starts to mirror the slow opening of the morning. Here, time feels soft. Minutes do not jump or rush. They drift one into the next, like light sliding over the snow. There is nowhere to go, nothing to do, only this slow unfolding. Maybe a single tree stands at the edge of the field, its branches bare, traced with a fine line of frost. The first light catches on the tips, turning them into quiet sparkles. Not bright, not sharp, just tiny glimmers, here and there, like gentle stars brought down to earth. The ground beneath that tree is still and undisturbed. No footprints, no tracks, only smooth, soft white. It feels like a promise of rest, of untouched calm. In this moment, thoughts can soften too. Anything sharp, anything busy, can be laid down for a while. No need to hold on to it. No need to untangle it. Thoughts can simply rest at the edge of awareness, the way shadows rest at the edge of the snow. The air carries a quiet clarity, crisp but kind, cool but gentle. Each breath brings in a little of that clarity. Each exhale releases something that is no longer needed. The light continues its slow journey. It moves from the horizon higher into the sky, from the tops of the trees down to their trunks, across the open ground, closer and closer to where you rest. Imagine a single ray of that pale light resting on the nearest surface, a windowsill, a small drift of snow, a patch of frosted earth. The beam is soft and thin, but it carries warmth in its quiet way. As that warmth spreads, there is a sense of easing. Muscles that were slightly tight begin to relax. Hands loosen. The face smooths. The whole body begins to feel a little heavier, supported by whatever holds it. The sky now feels more open. Darkness has faded into a gentle morning shade. The colors are still muted, still calm. Nothing is bright or harsh. It is a world painted in soft tones and quiet light. Breath matches this softness. Slow in, slow out. Each inhale filling the space of the chest like light filling the sky. Each exhale washing away tension like snow, smoothing over the marks of the night. You are not separate from this scene. The same calm that rests on the snow rests on you. The same slow light that moves across the landscape moves across your thoughts. The same easy stillness that holds the trees holds your body where it lies. In this early winter light, everything seems simpler. Just the sky, the snow, the air, the breath. Just the quiet way morning arrives. Nothing complicated, nothing demanding. The world is still mostly at rest. Doors remain closed, windows are still. Even the wind seems to move more gently, if it moves at all. The whole landscape feels wrapped in a soft white hush. Stay with this first light for a while longer. Let it move slowly across the scene in your mind, from one side of the horizon to the other, from the far distance to the space near your own body. Everywhere it touches becomes a little calmer, a little softer. The breathing rhythm deepens in its comfort. In, out, steady, quiet, safe. Each breath a small wave of warmth moving through the body, rising and falling in time with the waking day. Soon the light will grow stronger. The world will remember its sounds and movements. But for now, it is still early. It is still gentle. This is the tender edge of morning, where you are allowed to linger. Rest here in the soft arrival of day. Feel how the quiet snow, the pale sky, and the slow light support your calm. Nothing needs to change quickly. Nothing needs to happen. Just breathe and watch, and let the first light in the snow continue to unfold around you in its own soft, unhurried way. Warmth gathers slowly in the quiet of the house. The outside world is still cool and pale, wrapped in winter's calm. Inside, the air feels softer, gentle, almost like a held breath. Walls and roof keep the cold at a distance. They cradle the space in a steady, protective hush. The world beyond might be frosted and still, but here, inside, everything feels safe and close. The first sign of the home waking is very small. A soft creak from an old wooden beam. A quiet sigh as the house settles into the new day. It sounds almost like a sleepy stretch, comfortable and familiar. Blankets shift slightly, fabric brushing against fabric. A tiny rustle as someone turns just a little, or as the covers adjust their weight. The sound is gentle and close, like a whisper you don't need to understand. Warmth holds steady underneath, wrapping the body in a soft, calm cocoon. The air carries a trace of coolness near the edges, where it meets the window panes and doors. Deeper inside the room, closer to the bed or the resting place, it is warmer. The contrast is comforting. Outside is crisp and cold. Inside is sheltered and kind. Somewhere in the house, wood adjusts and responds to the slow change in temperature. A floorboard gives a small groan, a step, a beam. Each sound is familiar, part of the quiet language of a home that has held many mornings. Now, imagine a distant kettle beginning to wake as well. Not whistling yet, not loud, just the faintest suggestion of water beginning to move, metal beginning to respond to heat. The sound is far away enough that it doesn't disturb. It simply hints at comfort on the way. Warmth spreads out from hidden places, from the stove, from vents, from the combined softness of blankets, clothing, and breath. Bit by bit, it fills the corners of the room, smoothing the last traces of night's chill. In this calm space, breathing naturally slows. Inhale through warmth, exhale into ease. The chest moves in a gentle rhythm, like a quiet tide in a protected bay. Nothing is forced, nothing rushed. Faint light slips past curtains or blinds, softened by fabric and winter air. It does not flood the room. Instead, it rests gently on familiar objects. A bedside table, a chair, the folds of blankets. Everything appears softened, rounded by the tender light. The hush of the home holds like a soft embrace. Sound moves carefully, respecting the stillness. Even small noises feel kind. A slight tap from far away, a low hum in the walls. All of it blends into a gentle background that supports rest. Inside this cocoon of warmth, the sense of being sheltered grows stronger. The cold cannot reach you here. Walls hold it back. Windows filter it into only a cool glow. The bed, the blankets, the air around you, all conspire to keep your body at ease. The distant kettle sound grows a little clearer, water shifting, metal responding. The thought of something warm to drink forms quietly in the background, like a soft promise. You do not need to move toward it yet. You can simply enjoy knowing that comfort is waiting somewhere nearby. Blankets feel heavier in the best way. Their weight presses down in a steady, reassuring way. Every small movement creates a slow ripple of warmth beneath them. The fabric holds the heat your body has built all through the night. In this moment, the home itself seems to breathe along with you. As the air warms, it expands. As it cools slightly, it contracts. Wood, plaster, and stone respond with tiny sounds, like quiet exhalations. The whole space feels alive in a slow, gentle way. Outside, winter still rests. Cold air presses against the windows. Snow or frost clings to the edges of the glass. Yet none of it feels threatening. It is simply a contrast that makes the inside feel even more inviting. Here, you are fully protected from the chill. You are wrapped not only in blankets, but in the presence of the home itself. The walls, the roof, the floor beneath you all hold a history of other quiet mornings. They remember how to keep warmth in and cold out. They remember how to cradle rest. As the house continues to wake, more sounds join the soft chorus. A muted click from a heater, the faint buzz of a distant appliance, perhaps a gentle rustle as curtains move slightly in a draft. Each sound is slow, small, and safe. The scent of warmth begins to drift in. Maybe it is the faint smell of wood warmed by heat. Maybe fabric warmed by a body at rest. Maybe water slowly heating in the kitchen. Whatever it is, it adds to the sense that comfort is spreading through every room. Breath deepens again. The chest feels heavier, more relaxed. Muscles are no longer preparing for anything. They hang loosely, held by the softness beneath them. The body understands that it is safe. Any remaining tension fades in tiny pieces. A tight jaw eases. Hands soften. Feet relax into their resting place. Shoulders sink a little deeper into the surface that supports them. Nothing is asked of you here. The home continues its slow awakening, but it does so in a way that allows rest to continue. Light remains gentle. Sounds remain soft. Warmth continues to build at an easy pace. It is a waking that does not push you into action. It simply surrounds you with quiet care. In this winter home, morning is not a rush. Morning is a slow gathering of comfort, a gradual brightening, a gentle layering of sound and warmth and light. You are at the center of it, quietly held. The distant kettle sound might now be steady, a low, comforting murmur from the heart of the house. If you imagine going to it later, it feels like moving through a path of warmth. Soft floors beneath your feet, air that cradles your skin. For now, you remain still. The blankets stay wrapped around you. The bed or resting place continues to support every part of your body. The home does the waking for you. You only need to breathe. Each breath invites more ease, inhaling the gentle warmth that the house has gathered, exhaling any leftover heaviness from before. The exchange is simple, steady, and kind. Within these walls, the cold exists only as something outside. It is held back by glass and wood and stone. Inside, you feel only the softness of heated air, the weight of blankets, and the quiet presence of familiar rooms. Allow that sense of being sheltered to deepen. Notice how completely you are enclosed in safety. From the floor beneath you to the ceiling above, from the walls around you to the blankets over you. Everything works together to keep you calm. In this cozy winter home, waking is not a sharp break from sleep. It is a slow drift from one kind of rest into another. Thoughts may come and go, but none of them have to be followed. They can settle gently, like dust in a still beam of light. The home keeps holding you, quietly, patiently. Warmth continues to gather in small, steady waves. Sounds remain low and tender. Light stays soft. You are wrapped in all of it, like being folded into the very heart of a gentle, waking house. Stay in that feeling, in that warmth, for as long as you wish, resting in a space where everything around you is slowly coming alive, only to make your own rest even deeper and even more at ease. The warmth begins in a quiet corner of the room. At first, it is only a small sound, water shifting, a faint hum of heat, a soft promise that something warm is on its way. The air in the room is still cool from the night, touched by winter's calm. Light filters in, gently, pale and slow. Everything feels quiet and unhurried, as if the morning wants to open its eyes at its own pace. Now the warmth grows a little stronger. You can almost sense it before you see it. A low, steady heat rising from the kettle, from the pot, from whatever simple tool is being used. Nothing rushed, just warmth gathering patiently. When the water settles into stillness again, the sound fades into a soft hush. A mug waits nearby, cool to the touch at first, smooth under the fingertips. The room holds its breath for a moment, as if honoring this simple ritual. Then the warm liquid pours in, a gentle stream, a quiet swirl, a soft meeting of heat and air. The sound is soothing, familiar, comforting in the deepest way. Steam begins to rise immediately, thin at first, barely visible in the cool air, then fuller, drifting upward in slow, delicate curls. It moves in its own rhythm, light and effortless, flowing upward as if it has all the time in the world. The steam creates a small, warm cloud above the mug. It lifts and twists, then loosens and disappears. Each motion is gentle. Each shape is calm. Just watching it or imagining it can soften the breath. The mug warms quickly. Its surface becomes a gentle glow against the hands that hold it. Not hot, just warm enough to sink into the palms. Warm enough to invite a deeper, easier inhale. Hands wrap around it without thinking. The warmth spreads through the fingers, across the knuckles, up into the wrists. It moves slowly, like a quiet tide. No rush, no urgency, only comfort. The first breath over the mug feels different. A hint of scent rises with the steam. Something soft, something warm. It might be tea, or cocoa, or coffee, or just warm water. But the exact flavor doesn't matter. The feeling is what matters. The air carries tiny traces of heat. Breathing them in feels grounding. Breathing out feels like loosening a knot that was never meant to be tight. The body recognizes this warmth. It leans into it without effort. Steam continues to rise in slow waves. It drifts upward, then fades, then is replaced by more. A calm, endless motion that mirrors the breath. Up and away, up and away. The mug becomes a small hearth in your hands, a center of warmth, a quiet anchor. The winter light touches it gently, giving it a faint glow that fills the space around it. Around the rest of the room, the cold still lingers in the corners. It hugs the windows. It rests low against the floor. But near the mug, the warmth is growing, pushing back the chill bit by bit. The scent rises again, fuller now, still soft, still gentle. It fills the air with a sense of ease, with a promise of comfort. Each breath in is smooth and steady. Each breath out is even softer. Holding the mug feels almost like holding a small sun, a quiet one, a gentle one. Its warmth settles deeper into the hands, then into the arms, spreading slowly through the body. Muscles respond to it. They loosen, they settle. You might imagine lifting the mug slightly, feeling its weight, feeling the warmth shift inside it. The movement is slow and careful, almost ceremonial, a simple action made meaningful by its calmness. Bringing it closer, the warmth touches the face, a soft, rising heat that brushes the cheeks, the nose, the lips. It feels like being greeted by something kind, something patient. A sip might come next, but it doesn't need to. The moment before the sip is just as comforting. Just breathing in the warm air, feeling its quiet touch, is enough to soften everything inside. The mug rests again in the hands. Steam rises once more, always drifting, never rushing. The room feels different now, a little warmer, a little softer, a little more alive. The contrast between the cold outside and the warmth inside becomes part of the comfort. Winter stays beyond the windows. Inside, the warmth circles around the mug, around the hands, around the breath. Time moves slowly here. Moments stretch gently, held open by warmth and stillness. Breathing becomes quieter, easier. Thoughts drift like the steam, rising, loosening, then fading. Nothing more is needed. Not action, not conversation, not effort. Just the presence of warmth in the hands. Just steam lifting softly into the calm morning air. Just the body easing into this simple, quiet ritual. The steam continues to curl upward, fading into the space above. The room glows faintly with winter light. Warmth hums through the mug and into your hands. Everything is soft. Everything is slow. Stay with this warmth for a little longer, feeling it settle through the body, letting it hold you in this calm, gentle beginning as the steam rises and slowly disappears into the morning air. Morning light settles softly across the room. It glows in muted shades, barely touching the floor at first, then spreading slowly, as if unsure whether to brighten the space or let it rest a little longer. The air is cool but calm, the kind of calm that invites slow movement, quiet thoughts, and an easy body. The first step is gentle, a careful shift of weight, a soft press into the floor. Floorboards respond with a muted creak, low and warm, as though the room recognizes the presence moving through it. Each step is unhurried. The heel settles first, then the arch, then the toes. Movement spreads through the body like a slow ripple. Nothing sharp, nothing abrupt, just a quiet unfolding of motion. The floor feels smooth beneath the feet, even through socks or slippers, cool at the edges, warmer where the light gathers. Every step carries a tender mix of sensation, soft pressure, a tiny shift in balance, the faint sound of wood receiving weight. Breath matches this slow rhythm. Inhale as the body lifts, exhale as it settles again. The timing is natural, not forced. Breathing becomes a companion to moving, steady and peaceful. The room feels larger when walked through slowly. Corners stretch out, shadows soften. Even the distance between one step and the next feels longer, as if time itself is widening to make room for calm. This winter space holds a quiet kind of warmth, not from heat, but from familiarity. Walls that have seen many quiet mornings, floors that know the sound of unhurried footsteps, a space that offers safety simply by existing. Light continues to shift as movement continues. Pale gold begins to replace soft grey. It touches the tops of shelves, the edges of furniture, the surface of small objects resting in their places. Nothing sparkles. Nothing shines sharply. Everything glows in a muted, comforting way. Each step across the room feels like it carries the body deeper into stillness rather than away from it. Moving slowly can be its own kind of rest, a rest that comes from being fully present in each quiet moment. Another step, another soft creak. The floorboard speaks in its gentle winter language. It rises slightly under weight, then relaxes again as the step lifts away. In this warm interior, the cold outside feels distant. Windows show hints of frost. Glass carries the faintest chill. Yet inside, the air remains steady and calm, holding the warmth of breath, the softness of blankets left behind, and the gentle heat rising from earlier moments of comfort. Feet move again, slow, measured. The sound is barely louder than a whisper, a soft brush, a small shift in weight. Each step feels intentional, even if no destination is in mind. Hands might drift beside the body, relaxed and loose. Shoulders ease downward. The spine lengthens with each calm breath. The body becomes both grounded and light at the same time, supported by the floor and softened by the stillness around it. As movement continues, awareness deepens. The coolness of the air against the skin, the warmth held in the chest, the subtle sway of the body shifting from step to step. Even the silence feels textured, like a soft fabric resting gently against the senses. Footsteps might lead toward a window. Light grows slightly stronger there, still pale, still gentle. Snow outside rests in quiet layers, untouched and serene. The scene beyond the glass adds a deeper calm to the room, as though the world itself is moving slowly with you. Or the steps may guide you toward a small table where objects rest exactly where they were left. A book, a folded blanket, a mug still warm from earlier. Each one carries a memory of comfort. Movement may continue through the open space, circling softly or simply pacing in short, easy lines. What matters is the feeling of connection, the floor beneath, the air around, the steady breath within. With each slow step, the body feels more rooted, more at ease, as if every part of you is settling into the winter morning with gentle acceptance. Nothing hurried, nothing expected. The room itself seems to respond to this calm rhythm. Light grows just a little more golden. Shadows stretch in slow motion. The air feels warmer, even if the temperature has not changed. The space becomes a cocoon of quiet movement and soft awareness. Footsteps grow even softer. The body feels heavier in a comforting way, grounded, supported, at home in its own small motions. Breathing deepens again, in through the softness, out through the stillness. Each breath anchors the body more firmly in the present moment. Now, movement may slow to almost nothing, a gentle shift from one foot to the other, a long pause, another quiet step. The rhythm becomes so soft that even the floorboards hesitate to creak. Here, in this winter room, the simple act of walking becomes a form of rest, a way of letting the mind settle, a way of letting the senses sharpen gently, a way of feeling safe in your own quiet presence. The final steps of this small morning walk feel even slower, even calmer. The body drifts towards stillness naturally, as though the room itself is offering a soft place to pause. When the movement finally settles, the breath follows. The air is warm around you. The light is soft. The floor is steady beneath your feet. Everything is calm. Everything is quiet. Everything is held in this gentle winter morning, where even the smallest step carries you deeper into a quiet, grounded stillness. Warmth gathers in the quiet room long before the day fully arrives. It comes from a small fire nestled safely inside a stove or fireplace. The glow is gentle at first, hardly more than a soft orange pulse behind the glass. Light flickers slowly, as though waking at the same calm pace as the morning itself. The air nearby feels warmer, touched by a steady heat that rises in quiet waves. It moves through the room without hurry, spreading comfort into every corner. Outside, winter still holds its cool grip. But here, near this small fire, warmth begins to settle like a protective blanket. A soft crackle breaks the stillness. Just a tiny sound, wood shifting as it burns, a calm reminder that the fire is alive, even in its gentlest state. The sound is rhythmic, almost like breathing, slow, steady, soothing. Flames curl upward in unhurried motions. They sway and flicker in patterns that never repeat. Bright for a moment, dim the next, always returning to their soft glow. Watching them feels like drifting into a quiet trance where time loses its sharpness. The embers beneath glow a deep, steady red. Their color is rich and comforting, like warmth made visible. Every now and then, they brighten with a small sigh of sparks, then settle again into calm. The cycle is slow and hypnotic. Heat radiates from the stove in gentle pulses, not too hot, just warm enough to ease tension from shoulders, arms, and chest. The warmth moves outward in invisible rings, like soft ripples in still water. Each pulse brings a deeper sense of safety. Sitting near this fire feels like being held. The world beyond the windows may be cold and quiet, but inside, the room glows with calm light. Shadows dance slowly across nearby walls, long, soft shapes that stretch and shrink without sound. Another small crackle rises from the fire. A pop, a shift, then quiet again. The sound is comforting, as if the fire is gently speaking in its own language, offering company without asking for anything in return. Breathing deepens naturally in the warmth. Air feels smoother as it moves in, softer as it moves out. Heat brushes against the skin with every inhale, loosening any tightness that remains from sleep or thought. Hands may drift closer to the warmth. They relax almost instantly, soaking in the gentle heat. Fingers loosen. The palms soften. The body leans in just enough to feel sheltered. The room brightens slowly as the morning grows. but the fire remains the heart of the space, steady and glowing. Light from the flames mixes with pale daylight, creating a quiet harmony of warmth and coolness. It is a balance that invites rest. Every flicker of the fire holds a calm rhythm, a rise, a fall, a slow dance of light and heat. The movement asks nothing. It simply continues, steady and comforting. The scent of warm wood lingers in the air, faint and soothing, not strong, just enough to mark the presence of the fire. It's the kind of scent that feels timeless, tied to quiet mornings and peaceful hours spent in calm spaces. Embers shift again, glowing brighter for a moment. A soft crackle follows. Then the fire settles back into its slow, steady flicker. The rhythm lulls the mind into a state of relaxed watching. Breath and flame feel connected now, both rising and falling in gentle waves, both moving with slow, natural ease. Each inhale feels warmer. Each exhale feels emptier, as though letting go of something no longer needed. The warmth spreads deeper into the room. It reaches the far corners, smoothing the cool morning air. It wraps around furniture, softening their edges. It fills the space beneath the feet and above the head. Everything becomes softer. The firelight casts a glow on nearby objects, a chair, a rug, the edge of a table, all touched by the same quiet orange hue. The room feels smaller in a comforting way, as if the fire is gently drawing the space inward. Sitting near the fire, time feels different. Minutes stretch, thoughts slow. There is no need to plan or remember, only the warmth, the quiet sounds, the gentle flickering light. The fire seems to breathe. Its glow brightens, then softens. A long rise, followed by a slow fall. The pattern repeats over and over, steady as a heartbeat. The body responds to this rhythm. Muscles ease. The chest feels lighter. Even the weight of winter seems to lift a little in this warm, glowing space. Outside the windows, the world remains cold. But that cold feels distant now, softened by layers of warmth. Only the gentlest traces of it reach the room. Inside, the fire continues to hold everything in its calm glow. The sound of the crackling wood becomes softer as the flames settle. More embers, less flame. But the warmth remains steady, still pulsing gently through the air. Sitting with the fire feels like resting beside a quiet friend. A presence that asks for nothing, gives warmth freely, and stays steady through every shift of light. The more you watch it, the more your thoughts dissolve into calm. Slowly, the fire begins to dim. Not fading away completely, just settling deeper into its bed of embers. A soft orange glow remains, warm and steady. Brightness becomes gentler. The room feels even more peaceful. Breathing now matches the soft pulse of heat. Slow in, slow out. The body sinks into a deeper state of ease, wrapped in the glow. The morning continues to brighten outside, but the heart of the room stays quiet and warm. A place of stillness, a place of calm, a place where warmth rests gently against the cold. Stay here in the glow for as long as you like, held by the warmth, softened by the crackling quiet, drifting deeper into the calm of a winter morning fire. Snow begins to fall in the quiet morning. It starts softly, almost shy, drifting down in small, gentle flakes that move at their own slow pace. Light from the pale winter sky touches each one, making them glow faintly as they pass the window. The room stays warm and still, holding a deep hush that seems to thicken the air. Every flake falls in its own rhythm. Some drift straight down. Some wander sideways on a light breeze. Some swirl for a moment before settling into their gentle descent. Watching them feels like watching time slow down. The window pane is cool to the touch. A thin layer of frost traces the edges, softening the view. Beyond the glass, the world looks muted, washed in pale whites and soft greys. The colours blend together until everything feels wrapped in the same calm blanket. Snowflakes settle on branches just outside. At first, only a few, then more. A delicate layer begins to form, resting lightly on each thin limb. Nothing bends or breaks. The snow is too soft for that. It just settles, quiet and effortless. The silence outside is deep, almost sacred. Snowfall absorbs sound, creating a world where sharp noises cannot survive. Even the wind seems paused. Even the trees seem to hold their breath. The only movement is the drift of tiny white flakes, falling one after another. Inside, the warmth of the room contrasts with the cold beyond the window. Soft air surrounds you. Comfort settles in with every slow breath. The warmth keeps you grounded while your attention drifts outward to the peaceful scene unfolding beyond the glass. The first layer of snow thickens. Branches look softer now, their edges rounded. Bushes and shrubs become small white shapes. Even the ground seems to smooth out, as if the snow is gently erasing the sharp lines of the world. Each flake falls with such quiet purpose. None rush, none collide. Each simply drifts until it finds a place to rest. Watching this slow, steady movement invites a deep stillness into the body. Breathing becomes calmer, in through warm air, out into the quiet. The chest rises gently, then falls again, in a rhythm as soft as the snowfall. Thoughts follow this slow pattern, drifting and settling without effort. A larger flake floats past the window, spinning lazily. It moves as though it has nowhere to be, no reason to arrive quickly. Other flakes join it, filling the air with a gentle, swirling dance. The whole world seems to soften as they gather. The window glass begins to blur slightly as more snow collects along the frame. The view becomes dreamlike. Edges disappear, shapes blend. Everything takes on a calm, quiet glow. In this moment, the snowfall feels endless. A steady, soothing curtain of white that stretches into the distance. It moves with the softest grace, inviting the mind to drift, to loosen, to rest. The world outside slows even more. Paths and roads begin to hide beneath the growing layer. Footprints fade. Marks disappear. The snow smooths everything, creating a peaceful, untouched landscape. Branches now carry a thicker layer of white. They hold it gently, like balanced pillows of softness. When the wind stirs, the snow trembles, but does not fall. It simply adjusts, as though settling deeper into comfort. Inside the room, the warmth feels deeper, a gentle cocoon of heat that contrasts with the cool, pale beauty outside. Breathing feels easier here. The body feels heavier in a good way, grounded by the quiet air. Snowfalls like this have a way of making time feel different. Minutes pass slowly. Moments stretch wide. There is no urgency, no pressure, only the steady rhythm of falling snow. A single flake lands on the window pane and slowly melts, leaving a tiny bead of water that drifts downward. Another lands, then another. Tiny trails form, moving in slow, delicate lines. The movement is calming to watch. The snow begins to deepen on the ground. Soft mounds form where bushes and rocks rest beneath. Everything takes on a rounded, gentle shape. The landscape becomes a soft sculpture, carved by sky and silence. With each passing moment, the snowfall grows even more peaceful. Flakes float like feathers, barely touching the air around them. Their descent seems to guide the breath, encouraging a slower, gentler pace. The body responds to this calmness. Shoulders fall into a more relaxed position. Hands soften. Even the face loosens, releasing tension held in small, quiet places. The window continues to frame this serene world. A picture made not of lines or colors, but of movement and stillness blended together. The longer you watch, the more it feels like the snow is falling inside you too, softly, quietly, deepening your sense of peace. The silence grows thicker with each layer of snow. Sounds outside become nothing more than whispers. Even the faintest motion blends into the quiet. It feels like the world is resting. The snowfall continues its gentle rhythm, unbroken and steady. Each flake a small moment of calm drifting through the air. Together, they form a soft blanket of stillness that stretches across the morning. Inside, warmth continues to hold you. Breathing remains slow. The body stays grounded. Everything around you supports this quiet state of ease. Stay with the snowfall for as long as you like, watching each flake drift and settle, feeling the quiet deepen inside you as the world beyond the window sinks into the soft hush of winter. The door opens to a quiet winter morning. Cool air meets the warmth of your breath, creating a soft cloud that fades almost as soon as it appears. The world outside feels calm and open, wrapped in a gentle hush that settles over everything. Light is pale and even, spreading across the landscape in soft shades of white and blue. The first step into the snow is slow. The surface gives slightly, creating a light crunch that feels both crisp and comforting. The sound is quiet, almost fragile, as though the snow is greeting you with its own soft whisper. Another step follows, then another, each one measured, each one steady. The rhythm begins to match your breath, forming a soft pattern that carries you forward with ease. The air is cool against the face, but it feels clean and peaceful. Breathing it in brings a sense of clarity. Breathing it out releases any heaviness still held in the body. The cold does not bite, it simply exists, gentle and pure. Ahead, the open space stretches out in quiet simplicity. Snow blankets the ground, smoothing its surface into soft curves and gentle slopes. Distant trees stand still, their branches outlined with thin layers of frost. Nothing moves quickly, nothing disturbs the morning. Walking through this winter stillness feels like moving through a dream. Each step creates a small sound, then disappears into the wide, open silence. The world absorbs noise rather than echoing it. Even the wind is slow, brushing past with barely a sound. The breath grows calmer as you move. In, out, matching the steady pace of your steps. Chest rising gently, shoulders easing, the whole body settling into the rhythm of this quiet walk. Around you, the snow catches the soft morning light. It glows faintly, as though lit from within. No sharp edges, no harsh lines, only smooth brightness spreading across the ground. Every few steps, a small drift of snow shifts beneath your foot. The sound is delicate, like thin paper being pressed. It adds to the peaceful atmosphere, a reminder of your presence moving gently through the landscape. The trees remain quiet in the distance, their trunks dark against the pale surroundings, their branches still. Each one stands like a quiet companion, watching over the open space with steady calm. As you walk, the sense of vastness grows. There is so much space here. Not empty space, but peaceful space. Space that feels comforting. Space that welcomes slow movement and soft thoughts. Your steps become even more mindful. Heel touches first, then the ball of the foot, then the toes. Each step grounding you a little more, connecting you with the quiet earth beneath the snow. The cool air brushes your skin gently. The warmth of your breath rises and fades. The contrast feels refreshing, almost cleansing. It clears the mind without asking effort. A few flakes drift down from the sky. Not many, just enough to create a soft shimmer as they fall. They land on your coat, your hands, your hair. They melt quickly, leaving a cool touch that fades almost instantly. The world feels wide and open, yet completely safe. Nothing presses in. Nothing pulls you forward. The morning simply stretches out around you, offering space for calm and ease. Each step becomes lighter, as though the snow is lifting you a little, as though the air is holding you gently. You move without strain, without hurry, without thinking. Your body drifts into the rhythm of the landscape. Distant shapes come into view as you walk. A small rise in the land, a cluster of low bushes softened by snow, a line of trees marking the edge of the field. Everything appears softened by the winter stillness. Breathing becomes deeper, more natural. The cold air feels smooth as it enters the lungs, warm as it leaves. The cycle brings a sense of clarity that spreads through the chest, the arms, the back. Your footsteps create small patterns behind you, soft indentations in the snow. But the landscape remains mostly untouched, wide and gentle. If you look back, the path seems to drift in slow curves, each step forming part of the quiet morning story. Ahead, the space feels endless, but it does not feel overwhelming. It feels soothing, the kind of space that lets you breathe more deeply than usual, the kind that gives your thoughts room to settle and drift. The sound of your steps grows softer the longer you walk. Snow becomes lighter, air becomes stiller. Even the small crunch beneath your feet begins to blend into the peaceful rhythm of the morning. A faint breeze moves through the distant trees. Branches sway only slightly, creating the softest sound. It is barely audible, yet it adds a layer of calm to the silence. The movement feels gentle, as though the whole world is stretching slowly into the day. As you walk, the sense of weight in your body begins to change. Tension melts away. Muscles loosen. The body feels lighter, as if winter's stillness is carrying some of your heaviness for you. Nothing interrupts the quiet. The sky remains soft and pale. The snow stretches out in all directions. The world holds its calm. You continue forward in slow, easy steps, each one settling you deeper into tranquility, each one bringing you into closer rhythm with the peaceful landscape. The air feels softer now, almost warmer, as though your slow breathing has created a small atmosphere of calm around you. Your body moves without thought, guided by the gentle hush of the winter morning. Eventually, your steps begin to slow even more. The world around you remains still. The snow holds your footprints lightly. The air stays cool and quiet. You pause in the open space, breathing in the calm, breathing out the last traces of tension, feeling the vastness around you and the softness within you blend together. Stay here for a moment, in the quiet, in the stillness, in the gentle rhythm of winter, feeling weightless in the calm of a slow morning stroll. The quiet cold of the winter morning lingers on your skin as you step toward home. The air behind you carries the soft hush of snow and open space. Your breath still rises in small clouds, fading gently into the stillness. But ahead, the doorway waits with a kind warmth, ready to gather you in. The first moment inside is subtle, a small shift in temperature. Coolness loosens its hold. Warm air meets your cheeks, your hands, the front of your coat. The body recognizes it before the mind does. The door closes with a muffled sound, gentle and final. Cold remains on the other side. Inside, the space feels held, calm and safe. You stand for a quiet moment, letting the warmth settle around you. Layers begin to loosen. A scarf comes away from the neck, soft and slightly cold to the touch. Gloves slide off the fingers, releasing the last traces of winter air. The body exhales in a quiet sigh of relief. Coat buttons are undone one by one. The fabric shifts, heavy from the cold outside. As it opens, more warmth reaches your chest, your arms, your shoulders. It feels like stepping deeper into a gentle embrace. When the coat comes off, heat wraps around you more fully. It gathers in the space between skin and clothing. It follows the slow movement of your hands as you hang the coat or drape it over a nearby chair. Your body begins to soften in response. Boots or shoes grow lighter as they leave your feet. Snow melts in tiny drops along the floor. The feet feel freer, more grounded, noticing the warmth of the room through socks or slippers. A small comfort spreads upward from the soles. Breath deepens naturally. Cold air no longer tightens the lungs. Each inhale feels smoother. Each exhale feels like letting go of something gently. The warmth makes it easy to settle. Inside the home, sounds shift. The quiet crunch of snow outside becomes a memory. Here, the silence is softer, shaped by walls and familiar objects. The room holds its own stillness, warm, steady, and protective. A faint glow comes from a nearby lamp or a window touched by morning light. It fills the space with a gentle tone. Not bright, not sharp, just enough to let the eyes rest. The warmth within the home feels different from sunlight or fire. It is the warmth of a space that has held many quiet moments, a warmth shaped by comfort, routine, and gentle mornings like this. As you move farther inside, the body continues to thaw in slow, pleasant stages. Fingers regain their ease, shoulders drop, the face relaxes into its natural softness. Heat reaches places the cold had quietly claimed. A chair invites you to rest for a moment. The seat cushions hold lingering warmth. Sitting down feels like slipping into a soft cocoon. Your weight settles. Your breath follows. The room around you remains calm. Light moves slowly across surfaces. Shadows drift gently as the morning shifts. The home feels like it is watching over you, quietly, without asking for anything. Hands warm quickly now. They rest on your lap or along the chair's arms. The feeling spreads upward, soothing the wrists, the forearms, the elbows. Every part of you becomes a little heavier in the most comforting way. If a blanket lies nearby, its fabric cools softly. Pulling it around your shoulders feels natural. The texture is warm and familiar, wrapping you in layers of ease. It settles against your back, your arms, your chest. The contrast between inside and outside becomes clear in your memory. The crisp, cold air, the bright stillness of snow, the silence of the open space, now replaced by warmth, quiet, and softness. Breathing is unhurried, a slow inhale through the warmth, a long exhale that sends the last traces of cold drifting away. The body sinks deeper into comfort with each breath. Around you, the home remains steady. Walls hold in the heat. Floors carry the soft sounds of morning. Every object feels familiar and welcoming. The mind begins to settle. Thoughts drift more slowly. They soften as they move. Nothing feels sharp or heavy here. Everything lightens in the warmth. Resting in this space feels like returning to something known. A gentle rhythm, a quiet safety, a place where warmth gathers easily and stays close. The home feels alive in its own soft way. A slight hum in the background, a faint creak of wood settling. The warmth itself seems to breathe, rising and falling around you. As you sit, the body grows still, heavier, more relaxed, wrapped in heat and calm. The cold outside becomes a distant thought. The warmth continues its quiet work, loosening every small tension. Neck, shoulders, arms, lower back. Everything softens as the minutes pass. You feel held here, not by a single object, but by the whole room. Its warmth, its quiet, its familiar presence. It feels like a cocoon, shaped perfectly around you. Breathing remains slow and steady. The blanket rests softly against your skin. The chair supports you effortlessly. The warmth stays close. You can stay here as long as you like, wrapped in the comfort of home, settling deeper into this quiet space, feeling the warmth gather around you as the morning unfolds in its own calm, gentle way. Winter quiet settles over the room like a soft, familiar blanket. The light is dim in a gentle way, as though the morning prefers to whisper rather than speak. Soft shadows drift along the walls. Everything feels slower, calmer, wrapped in a stillness that invites rest. The air holds a cool edge, but the warmth around you is steady. Blankets gather over your body in soft layers, creating a cocoon of comfort. Their weight is tender, not heavy, just enough to remind you that you are held. Breathing grows warm beneath the covers. Each inhale gathers quiet. Each exhale releases the last traces of tension. The rhythm settles deeper with every moment. Outside, winter remains hushed. Snow rests on rooftops and branches. Even the wind moves gently, as if it too has grown sleepy. The world feels distant, softened by the thick quiet of the season. Inside, everything is still. Furniture stands quietly in its place. Curtains hang with no movement. The room carries the kind of silence that seems to deepen the longer you notice it. Wrapped in warmth, your body sinks a little more. Shoulders settle. Legs grow heavier. Hands soften and relax. The blankets mold themselves around your shape, comfortable and close. The dim winter light feels soothing against the eyes, not bright enough to wake you fully, not dark enough to hide the room. Just a gentle glow that makes everything feel calm. Breathing becomes even slower. Air moves softly through the nose. The chest rises with ease, then falls with a quiet release. The pattern continues without effort, steady and peaceful. As you rest, the world outside seems to fade further. Sounds, if they appear at all, are far away. A distant creak, a muted hum, each one softened by winter's thick stillness. Thoughts drift lightly, like snowflakes floating through the air. Some linger for a moment, some melt the instant they form. None need to be followed. They simply appear and fade. appear and fade. The blankets feel warmer now. Heat builds slowly beneath them, warming your arms, your chest, your legs. It spreads through your body in gentle waves, quieting every muscle it touches. The room's stillness wraps around you. It feels like a safe hollow in the center of winter, a place where time moves slowly, a place where rest is the only thing asked of you. Your body sinks deeper into the surface beneath you. It feels soft, supportive, steady. It holds your weight easily, inviting every part of you to release into it. The dim light shifts slightly as the morning moves. It slides across the blankets in faint streaks, barely noticeable, yet comforting. It feels like the day is unfolding gently, without any rush for you to join it. Breathing deepens once more. Warm air fills the lungs. Cool air leaves slowly. The body responds with a soft, natural stillness that feels like surrender. Nothing needs to be done. No decisions, no effort. Just this quiet moment in the center of winter. A moment shaped entirely by calm. Your thoughts continue to loosen. They drift in long, slow motions, like delicate snow settling onto untouched ground. Soft, quiet, unhurried. The warmth beneath the blankets encourages a deeper ease. Muscles near the spine soften, the jaw loosens, the brow smooths. Even the small muscles in the hands grow quiet. The silence in the room feels almost thick, as if you could lean into it. It creates a sense of spaciousness inside your mind, a vast, peaceful openness where nothing presses in. The heart beats slowly, steady, comfortable, in harmony with the gentle rhythm of winter's hush. Outside the window, the world remains calm. Snow may be falling in fine flakes, or resting silently in soft layers. Either way, the landscape carries the same stillness that fills the room. Inside, warmth continues to gather. Blankets hold it close. Your body accepts it easily, allowing tension to release in small waves. Eyes may grow heavy, not from fatigue, but from comfort. The dim light encourages softness. The warmth encourages rest. Every breath carries you deeper. Each inhale draws in peace. Each exhale lets go of something unnecessary. The process repeats without any effort from you. The room feels smaller now in a comforting way, like a nest of warmth and quiet, a small sanctuary in the heart of winter. Your body feels almost weightless, not because it is light, but because it is held so completely. Nothing fights gravity. Nothing resists stillness. The softness around you continues to deepen. Blankets shift slightly with your breath. Warmth rises and falls with the rhythm of your chest. The air remains still and gentle. Thoughts drift even farther away. Their edges blur. Their meanings fade. They become shapes without weight, floating gently in the background. In this moment, you are resting in the pure quiet of winter, a quiet that feels protective, a quiet that feels patient, a quiet that asks nothing and offers ease. You can stay here for as long as you wish, wrapped in warmth, held in stillness, resting in the heart of winter as the world grows quieter around you and your thoughts drift softly into calm. The quiet of winter deepens until it becomes its own soft world. Light rests gently in the room, pale and delicate, as though it has been placed there with great care. Nothing moves quickly. Nothing presses in. The air feels still, almost floating. Breathing follows this softness. A slow inhale, light and smooth. A long, gentle exhale that seems to dissolve into the space around you. The rhythm settles naturally, without effort. Outside, the morning is wrapped in muted sound. Snow holds the world in a soft embrace. Even the faintest noises are softened, rounded, slowed. The quiet feels thick enough to touch. Inside, the silence becomes even more tender. It stretches through the room like a gentle blanket, covering corners and edges. Shapes remain, but their sharpness fades. Only calm remains. Time loosens its grip. Moments drift one into the next, slow and light. Nothing asks for attention. Nothing calls the mind forward. Everything simply rests. The body begins to float in this softness, not rising, but releasing. Muscles loosen in small, gradual shifts. The weight of blankets settles more deeply. Warmth gathers around the chest, the arms, the legs. The light in the room barely changes. It glows tenderly, almost still, as though it wishes not to disturb the quiet. It touches the surfaces around you in faint tones, soft greys, gentle whites, hints of winter morning blue. Breathing slows again, in and out, with long spaces between each cycle. The breath becomes part of the silence, blending seamlessly into it. Thoughts move lightly now. They thin out. They drift like tiny flakes in a wide expanse of sky. Some fade immediately. Some float for a moment, then disappear. None carry weight. The room holds you. Warmth gathers at your back, along your sides, under your knees. It settles around your body like a cocoon, steady and protective. The silence rests on top of that warmth, soft and comforting. A faint memory of the world outside passes by. The cool air, the still snow, the quiet trees. But it drifts away quickly, carried by the calm that fills the room. Your breath deepens without needing to. The warmth rises with each inhale. The body sinks with each exhale. The rhythm feels like floating in a soft, endless space. The silence grows softer still. It becomes lighter, like a gentle mist. It fills the air around you with a feeling of peace. A peace so deep, it feels like the world has paused just for you. Your body relaxes even more. Shoulders release. Legs grow heavier. Hands soften completely. Each part of you settles into a quiet rest that feels natural and effortless. Light continues its delicate glow. It holds no urgency, no direction. Only softness, only calm. The world feels vast and close at the same time, vast in its stillness, close in its warmth. Every part of the moment feels steady, gentle, and deeply kind. Breathing nearly disappears into the quiet. It becomes a small motion, smooth and easy. A quiet wave that rolls through the body, barely noticeable. Your thoughts drift further apart. Long spaces open between them. Those spaces feel wide and peaceful, like a winter field untouched by footprints. Bright, soft, endless. Warmth gathers where the blankets touch. It pools around your chest and shoulders. It spreads along your back. It becomes a steady, soothing presence that supports every breath. Your body feels safe, held, settled, as though the world outside cannot reach this quiet place. Only warmth, only stillness. The silence remains soft and full. It seems to deepen with each breath, not heavy, not empty, just perfectly calm. Light drifts gently across the room as the morning moves. The change is barely noticeable, a subtle shift from one shade of softness to another. It feels like watching the sky turn without looking directly at it. Everything about this moment encourages rest. The warmth, the blankets, the silence, the breath, all working together in a quiet rhythm. The world outside continues its own slow pace. Snowfall may still drift in thin lines, trees may sway in gentle motions, but none of that disturbs the quiet here. Your body feels even lighter now, heavier against the bed, yet lighter inside. A soft balance of grounded and floating, warm and calm, still and drifting. Breath becomes a whisper inside the room, a gentle movement in a space that barely changes. Inhale and exhale, so slow, so easy. Thoughts continue to loosen until they feel like small shapes drifting at the edge of a dream. They no longer need attention. They simply pass through the silence, carried by the calm. The room grows softer still. Edges fade. Light glows. Warmth settles deeper. The silence becomes the softest thing in the world. Stay in this stillness, floating in the quiet, feeling the world grow gentler around you, as warmth holds you, as calm deepens, and as the softest winter silence carries you toward deep, peaceful rest. The winter morning softens again, as though settling into a quiet sigh. Light drifts gently across the room, fading into gentler shades. Shadows relax into stillness. The air grows warm and steady, holding a calm that feels almost like a lullaby. Breathing follows the same slow rhythm. Inhale with ease. Exhale into softness. Each breath feels longer, smoother, as if the body knows it has reached a place where it can finally rest. The warmth around you gathers in small, comforting waves. A quiet glow near your chest, a soft weight along your legs, a sense of being held without needing to move or respond. The world outside feels far away now, its cold edges softened, its sounds muffled by distance. Only warmth and quiet remain close. Only ease remains within reach. The morning that once awakened now feels as though it is drifting back into silence. Its brightness dims, its movement slows. It folds itself into calm, inviting you to do the same. Blankets settle more deeply around you. Their warmth becomes richer, almost melting into your skin. Every part of your body responds, loosening, sinking, releasing the last bits of tension held in muscle or mind. Thoughts drift without purpose. They move like faint shapes across a soft sky. No need to chase them, no need to hold them. They can simply pass through the quiet and disappear. The room feels smaller now, cozy and wrapped in stillness. The air is warm, the light soft, the silence complete. Nothing stirs, nothing calls for your attention. Breath continues its gentle rhythm. Slow in, slow out, a peaceful tide moving through your chest. The body follows that tide, drifting a little deeper with each cycle. Warmth pools around your shoulders. It gathers at your back. It settles along your spine. The comfort is steady, reliable, almost like a soft hand resting lightly and reassuringly over you. The quiet grows even thicker, like snow falling in slow motion. It fills the gaps between sounds. It fills the space between thoughts. It fills the room with a peace that feels endless. Your body feels heavier, but in the gentlest way. heavy like a blanket that has found its perfect place, heavy like a mind easing into quiet, heavy like rest beginning to unfold fully. Warmth and silence weave together, creating a cocoon that asks nothing of you. No effort, no direction, just presence, just softness. Light fades a little more. It becomes barely there illumination, a quiet glow that holds the room without disturbing it. Your eyes may grow heavy in response. Your breath may slow even further. Everything feels simpler now. Just warmth, just stillness, just the soft hum of a winter morning drifting towards silence. The body knows what to do. It settles where it is. It sinks into the surface beneath it. It rests in the warmth that surrounds it. Thoughts grow thinner. Longer spaces stretch between them. Then even those spaces soften until nothing remains but gentle quiet. The room holds you through this shift. Its stillness, its warmth, its familiar shape all create a sense of deep safety, a sense that you have reached the calmest part of the morning. Breath becomes the faintest movement, in and out, the sound barely noticeable. The air moves through you as lightly as drifting snow. This moment feels like floating, not away, but deeper, into calm, into warmth, into a quiet so soft it almost hums. The winter morning outside settles into silence as well. Its sounds fade, its light stills. The whole world seems to slow down, giving you permission to slow with it. You rest inside that shared quiet, wrapped in warmth, surrounded by ease, every part of you gently sinking into softness. If a thought tries to rise, it floats for a moment, then drifts away. If a sensation calls for attention, it melts back into comfort. Nothing lingers long. Nothing disturbs the calm. The air around you feels warm and steady. Blankets press lightly against your body. The surface beneath you holds you completely. Everything is aligned toward rest. Breathing softens once more. It becomes a quiet whisper of air, a gentle motion in a world that has grown almost completely still. Warmth deepens. Calm settles. Silence expands in soft, endless waves. You are held in this gentle winter drift, held by warmth, held by quiet, held by the stillness that has slowly gathered around you. Stay here as long as you wish, floating in this soft silence, resting in this warm cocoon, drifting deeper and deeper into the calm of a winter morning that has nothing left to ask of you, only the tender quiet of deep, peaceful rest.